Welcome back to your favorite English learning channel.
English Podcast Adventures.
Hey everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Sophia. Welcome to English Podcast Adventures.
We're really glad you're here with us today. You know, it's funny, this morning I was making my coffee and I realized I'd been doing it the exact same way for probably 3 years now. Same mug, same amount of sugar, same time.
Oh, I know what you mean. There's something comforting about those little routines, isn't there?
Absolutely. And it got me thinking about habits in general, how they just kind of become part of who we are without us even noticing.
Right. And some habits are amazing. They make our lives better. But then others, well, maybe not so much.
Exactly. So today we wanted to talk about building those really powerful daily habits, the ones that can actually change your life, and doing it in a way that helps you practice your English at the same time.
Which is perfect because learning a language is itself a habit, right? It's not something you do once and you're done. It's something you build into your everyday life.
That's such a good point. Oh, and before we dive in, we've put together a free PDF with some really helpful habit building tips and vocabulary. It's all inside our English Podcast Adventures Telegram channel, and you'll find the link right there in the description below.
Yeah, definitely grab that when you get a chance. It's got some useful stuff you can start using right away.
So where should we start? Maybe with why habits are so important?
Sure. I think habits are powerful because they remove the need to make decisions. Like when something becomes a habit, you just do it automatically.
Right, you're not sitting there every morning thinking, should I brush my teeth today? You just do it.
Exactly. And that saves your mental energy for other things, for the decisions that actually matter.
There's actually a word for that, decision fatigue. It's when you get tired from making too many choices and then the quality of your decisions gets worse.
Oh, I've definitely experienced that. By the end of the day, someone asks me what I want for dinner and my brain just shuts down.
Same here. That's why successful people often wear the same thing every day or have very simple morning routines. They're saving that energy.
Steve Jobs with his black turtleneck.
Perfect example. So if we can turn positive things into habits, we're basically setting ourselves up for success without having to think about it every single day.
I love that idea. But here's my question. How do you actually build a habit? Because I think a lot of people, including me sometimes, start with great intentions and then just stop.
Yeah, that's the tricky part, isn't it? I think one of the biggest mistakes is starting too big.
What do you mean?
Well, let's say you want to start exercising. A lot of people will say, starting Monday, I'm going to the gym for an hour every single day.
And then by Wednesday,
They're done. Because it's too much, too fast. It's not sustainable, which means you can't keep doing it long term.
so what's a better approach?
Start small, like ridiculously small. If you want to exercise, maybe you start with just 5 minutes a day, or even 2 minutes.
2 minutes? That seems almost too small.
That's the point, though. It's so easy that you can't really make an excuse not to do it. And once you're doing those 2 minutes consistently, it becomes part of your routine. And then you can gradually build it up.
Oh, that makes sense. You're building the habit of showing up, not necessarily the habit of a full workout right away.
Exactly. There's this idea called atomic habits, which basically means tiny changes that add up to remarkable results over time.
I like that. Atomic, like small, like an atom.
Right. And the beautiful thing is once the habit is established, it actually becomes easier to do more. Like if you're already putting on your running shoes every day, adding 5 more minutes to your run isn't that hard.
That's so true. I started reading before bed, and at first I told myself just one page, just one. And now, most nights I end up reading for 20 or 30 minutes because I'm already there. I'm already in the habit.
That's perfect. You've experienced it yourself. And if listeners want more examples like that, there are some great ones in that PDF we mentioned earlier in our Telegram channel.
What about linking habits to things you already do? I've heard that can help.
Oh, yes, habit stacking. That's a really powerful technique.
Habit stacking. I like the sound of that. What is it exactly?
It's when you attach a new habit to an existing one. So you're using something you already do as a trigger for the new habit.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you already drink coffee every morning. That's your existing habit. You could stack a new habit onto it by saying, right after I pour my coffee, I will practice English for 5 minutes.
Oh, so the coffee is the trigger that reminds you to practice English.
Exactly. Or maybe right after I brush my teeth, I will do 10 push-ups. The existing habit becomes the cue for the new one.
That's clever because you're not trying to remember randomly throughout the day. It's connected to something that's already automatic.
Right. And your daily routine is full of these potential triggers. After I sit down at my desk, after I eat lunch, after I turn the TV off at night.
I'm thinking about my own routine now. I always make tea around 3 in the afternoon. Maybe that could be my trigger for reviewing vocabulary or something.
Perfect. See, you're already thinking about how to apply this.
What about when you mess up, though? Like, let's say you're building a habit and then you miss a day. Does that ruin everything?
That's such an important question because I think this is where a lot of people give up. They miss one day and think, well, I've failed. Might as well quit.
I've definitely done that.
We all have, but the key is don't miss twice.
Don't miss twice.
Yeah, missing one day is just life happening. Things come up, you get sick, you have an emergency. That's normal. But if you miss 2 days in a row, now you're starting to form a different habit, the habit of not doing the thing.
Oh, so one miss is a slip, but 2 misses is the start of a new pattern.
Exactly. So if you miss a day, don't beat yourself up about it. Just make sure you get back on track the next day.
That takes so much pressure off, actually. It's not about being perfect.
Not at all. It's about being consistent over time. And consistency doesn't mean perfection.
You know what? If this is helpful for you, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what habits you're trying to build.
Yeah, and maybe we can feature some of your ideas in a future episode.
So we've talked about starting small and habit stacking. What else helps make habits stick?
Environment is huge.
Environment? Like where you are?
Yeah, your surroundings. We're really influenced by what's around us more than we probably realize.
How so?
Well, think about it. If you want to eat healthier, but your kitchen is full of cookies and chips, you're making it really hard on yourself.
Because they're right there, tempting you all the time.
Exactly. But if you set up your environment so that the healthy choice is the easy choice, you're much more likely to succeed.
So like putting fruit on the counter where you can see it?
Perfect example. Or if you want to read more, put a book on your pillow so you see it when you go to bed. If you want to practice guitar, leave the guitar out in the room instead of in the closet.
Make the good habit visible and easy, and the bad habit invisible and hard.
You got it. That's exactly the principle.
What about for learning English? How could you design your environment for that?
Oh, there's so many ways. You could change your phone's language to English, put sticky notes with English words around your house, subscribe to English podcasts so they pop up in your feed.
Or follow English speaking accounts on social media, so English just shows up naturally throughout your day.
Right, you're surrounding yourself with the language, so you're practicing without even trying that hard.
It becomes part of your environment instead of something separate you have to remember to do.
Exactly. And over time, that adds up to a lot of practice.
This might sound silly, but I've started narrating what I'm doing in English sometimes. Like when I'm cooking, I'll say out loud, "Now I'm chopping the onions. Now I'm heating the pan."
That's not silly at all. That's brilliant, actually. You're creating an English-speaking environment even when you're alone.
It felt weird at first, but now it's actually kind of fun.
And you're building that habit of thinking in English, which is so valuable.
What about tracking your habits? Does that help?
It can be really motivating for some people. There's something satisfying about marking off each day you complete a habit.
Like a chain you don't want to break?
Exactly. Some people use apps, some use calendars, some just make a simple chart. The method doesn't matter as much as the act of acknowledging that you did the thing.
It makes it visible. You can see your progress.
Right, and on days when you don't feel motivated, you can look back and see, wow, I've done this 20 days in a row. I don't want to break that streak now.
That's powerful. Although I guess you have to be careful not to let the streak become more important than the actual habit.
That's true. The point is the habit itself, not just collecting marks on a calendar. But as a tool to help you stay consistent, it can be really useful.
We should talk about motivation too, because I think that's where a lot of people struggle.
Yeah, motivation is tricky because it comes and goes, right? Some days you feel really motivated, other days you don't.
So you can't rely on it.
Exactly. That's why systems are better than motivation. The habit, the routine, the system, those keep you going even when motivation is low.
But how do you build the habit in the first place without motivation?
Well, I think it helps to connect your habit to something deeper, to your identity.
Your identity?
Yeah, like instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, you say, I am a runner. Instead of, I want to learn English, you say, I am someone who speaks English.
Oh, interesting. So you're changing how you see yourself.
Right, and then your habits become evidence of that identity. Every time you go for a run, you're proving to yourself, yes, I'm a runner. Every time you practice English, you're reinforcing, yes, I'm an English speaker.
So the habit becomes part of who you are, not just something you do.
Exactly, and that's much more powerful than temporary motivation.
I never thought about it that way, but it makes so much sense.
It shifts the whole perspective, doesn't it?
What habits do you think are most valuable for people learning English?
Oh, good question. I think daily reading is huge, even just 10 or 15 minutes.
Because you're seeing the language used naturally.
Right, you're learning vocabulary and context, you're seeing grammar patterns, you're absorbing how sentences are structured. All of that happens kind of unconsciously when you read.
What should people read?
Whatever interests them, that's the key. If you love cooking, read recipes or food blogs in English. If you like sports, read sports news. If you enjoy stories, read novels or short stories.
Because you're more likely to stick with it if you actually enjoy it.
Exactly. The best habit is when you'll actually do.
What about listening practice?
Also essential, and again, it should be something you enjoy. Podcasts, TV shows, movies, YouTube videos, whatever keeps you engaged.
Like this podcast?
Well, hopefully. And the great thing about listening is you can often do it while doing other things, while commuting, while exercising, while cooking.
You're stacking that habit onto another activity.
Exactly. You're using time you'd spend anyway and making it learning time.
What about speaking? That's the hardest one to turn into a daily habit, I think.
It can be challenging if you don't have someone to practice with every day, but there are ways to work around that.
Like what?
Well, you mentioned narrating your activities earlier. That's one way. You can also talk to yourself in English, practice presentations, read out loud, even have imaginary conversations.
Does talking to yourself really help?
Absolutely. You're still using the language, forming sentences, practicing pronunciation. Your brain is working in English.
I guess it doesn't matter if anyone else is listening.
Not at all. You're building fluency and confidence, and those things matter whether you have an audience or not.
Here's something I wonder about. How long does it take for something to become a habit? I've heard different numbers.
Yeah, there's that popular idea that it takes 21 days, but that's actually a myth.
Really?
Yeah, research shows it varies a lot depending on the person and the habit. It could be anywhere from 18 days to over 200 days.
Wow, that's a huge range.
It is, but on average, it's around 66 days for a habit to become automatic.
So about 2 months.
Right, but the important thing is don't focus too much on the timeline. Just focus on showing up consistently, and eventually it will feel natural.
And even before it becomes automatic, you're still benefiting from doing it every day.
Exactly. The benefits start immediately. The automaticity is just a bonus that comes later.
Let's talk about some specific daily habits that people might want to build. We've mentioned some already, but what else?
Well, morning routines are powerful. How you start your day often sets the tone for the whole day.
What makes a good morning routine?
It depends on the person, but some common elements are things like drinking water right when you wake up, doing some light exercise or stretching, maybe meditating or journaling, eating a healthy breakfast.
And maybe some English practice could fit in there too?
Absolutely. Maybe you read a news article in English while you have your coffee, or listen to an English podcast while you get ready.
What about evening routines?
Those are important too. They help you wind down and prepare for good sleep, which is actually a habit itself.
Good sleep is a habit?
Well, going to bed at a consistent time is a habit, and doing things that promote good sleep, like avoiding screens before bed, keeping your room cool and dark, having a relaxing bedtime routine.
I'm terrible at the screen thing. I'm always on my phone right before bed.
Yeah, that's a tough one because our phones are so engaging, but the blue light really does interfere with sleep.
I know. Maybe I need to build a new habit there.
You could try stocking it onto something else, like when I plug in my phone to charge, I put it in another room.
And then read that book that's on my pillow.
There you go. See how it all connects?
What about breaks during the day? Do you think those should be habitual?
Oh, definitely. Especially if you work at a desk or study for long periods. Taking regular breaks is so important for focus and productivity.
Like the Pomodoro technique?
Yeah, that's one method. Work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, repeat.
Pomodoro means tomato in Italian, right?
It does. The technique was named after those tomato-shaped kitchen timers.
I love that. Such a simple idea, but really effective.
And during those breaks, you could do something physical, get some water, step outside for fresh air, or practice a little English.
Everything comes back to English practice.
Well, we are an English podcast.
Fair point. What about social habits, like habits involving other people?
Those are really important too, but sometimes harder to control because they depend on other people's schedules.
Right. You can't force your friend to have coffee with you every Tuesday if they're busy.
Exactly, but you can build habits around staying connected. Like maybe you have a habit of texting 3 friends every Sunday to check in, or calling your parents every Saturday morning.
Or joining a weekly English conversation group.
Perfect example. Regular social practice in English is incredibly valuable.
And it's more fun than studying alone.
Usually, yeah. Humans are social creatures. We learn well together.
We've covered so much. How should someone actually start building a new habit after listening to this?
Great question. I'd say pick one thing. Just one. Not 10 things, one thing.
Because starting small and specific is better than trying to change everything at once.
Right. Decide exactly what the habit is, when you'll do it, and how you'll track it.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Every morning after I brush my teeth, I will read 1 page in English. I'll mark it on my calendar when I complete it.
That's so specific.
It needs to be. Vague goals like read more in English don't work as well as specific plans.
And then you just start tomorrow?
Exactly. No need to wait for Monday or the first of the month or New Year's. Just start.
That's actually really freeing. You don't need the perfect moment.
The perfect moment is now. Or actually, the perfect moment is tomorrow morning when you brush your teeth.
True. And if people want more guidance on this, that PDF we made has a worksheet to help you plan your habit.
Oh yeah, that's really useful. It walks you through all these questions we've been talking about.
And again, that's in our English Podcast Adventures channel. Link is in the description.
What do you think is the biggest obstacle people face with habits?
Maybe impatience? Wanting results immediately?
Yeah, I think that's a big one. We live in a world of instant gratification, and habits are the opposite of that.
They're slow.
They are, but that's also their power. Small things repeated consistently over time create massive change.
It's like compound interest, but for your life.
I love that comparison. That's exactly what it is.
You don't see much difference day to day, but a year later, 5 years later, you're a completely different person.
And the beautiful thing is, it doesn't require massive effort, just small, consistent actions.
Anyone can do that.
Anyone. That's what makes habits so democratic. You don't need special resources or talents. You just need to start and keep showing up.
This is making me excited to work on my own habits.
Me too, actually. We should maybe pick something to work on this week.
What would yours be?
I think I want to build a habit of journaling before bed. Just 5 minutes, reflecting on the day.
Oh, that's nice. In English?
Of course. And you?
I'm going to do that tea time vocabulary review we talked about earlier. Every afternoon at 3, review 5 new words or phrases.
I love it. And maybe we can check in with each other in a few weeks.
Accountability partner.
Exactly, which actually, that's another tip. Having someone to check in with can really help with habit building.
Oh, we should have mentioned that earlier.
We can mention it now. If you're trying to build a habit, tell someone about it. Ask them to check in with you. It makes you more accountable.
And our listeners could do that too. Comment below about what habit you're building, and then come back in a week and update us.
Yes, we'd love to see that. Create a little community of people building habits together.
I think we've given people a lot to think about today.
We really have. Habits are such a rich topic.
And so connected to language learning.
Absolutely. If you can build good daily habits, you can definitely build the habit of learning English. It's the same principles.
Start small, be consistent, don't worry about perfection, design your environment, stack onto existing habits.
Track your progress, connect it to your identity, and just keep showing up,
Even when motivation is low.
especially when motivation is low. That's when the habit carries you through.
You know, we could probably talk about this for another hour, but we should probably wrap up.
Yeah, 25 minutes goes by fast.
Before we finish, we've got another episode on the screen right now that you might enjoy. Click on that if you want to keep learning with us.
And thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We really appreciate it.
If you found this helpful, it would mean a lot if you could like this video or leave a comment. Let us know what you thought or what habits you're working on.
And don't forget about that free PDF with all the habit building tips and vocabulary. It's in our Telegram channel, and the link is right there in the description below.
Grab that, use it, and let us know how it goes.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Happy learning and happy habit building.
Bye for now.
Bye.